done. But I got transferred and I had to do 90 again, and then transfer and do 90 again.
Right.
It's just going to end.
So now it finally ended. Now,
yes, but now I have to just do outpatient treatment in Florida till July 17th. Then I'm going to move to Southern California and just do IOP, which is just classes 3 days a week.
okay, good. And when you come to California, like aside from the classes IOP, say when that ends, like once all of the treatment is done, like what's your plan for protecting your sobriety?
Just go to meetings, hang out with sober people, get a sponsor, maybe Connor.
There we go.
I really liked him at Checkler's place.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, dude, like, that's the first time that you've ever said anything that sounded like you had some willingness to join the team. And it's borderline inappropriate.
And my phone is just programmed with a barrier like you of just sober people.
I love it.
Like nobody else. It's just all sober friends or family.
I love it. And dude, there's nothing. There's nothing that I won't do or Novak, like any of our sober buddies. There's nothing we won't do to help you stay sober.
Yeah, I found myself really a lot more productive. I would let days go by without answering important people, which probably fucked up a lot of business deals. Like, this fucker hasn't answered for a week. Let's just do the closing line with somebody else or whatever, you know.
Right. So let me ask you. You said about this living without your phone, living with all these like. What's been going on with that? Because I've seen a lot of activity on social media with the hashtag #FreeBam, and people seem to think that you're the Britney Spears of Jackass, that evil villains have taken over your life and stolen all your money, and like, can we safely say that none of that is true?
I don't know what's been going on because I haven't been able to look. As a matter of fact, I can't even post on my Instagram. Everything has to go through Johnny Schiller from Heart Supply because I had to sign a contract because when I was dealing with the lawsuit with Paramount and Jackass, I was posting shit like, fuck these motherfuckers for money, and it was potentially ruining my lawsuit. So I had to sign a paper saying that only Johnny can clear what goes through my Instagram. So I don't even know my new passcode. I can't control what goes on it.
Can I tell you, I think that's good news. Like and I couldn't be trusted with the laptop computer until I had been completely sober for 9 months, and even then it was a little bit questionable. So I think that having that filter, you know, I think that's absolutely great news, and I hope to, because I think that looking at your social media since you got out of treatment, it's feeling a lot more like you. When you were in treatment, it was fucking obvious that was not band posting. It was not in your voice. It was like oddly, like sort of masquerading as you, but it wasn't you, and it seemed kind of ingenuine. And it's starting to feel more genuine. So I get the sense that you're participating in what goes out.
Yeah, I still haven't looked to see what has happened, but now that I have my phone back, I just shoot photos, send it to Schiller up, and if he likes it or whatever, then he'll post it.
That's good. That's good, man, because, dude, it's tough to see some of that fucking shit that you were posting, man.
Well, at the time, I just figured Instagram should be real, because everybody's posting stuff like, at the beach with my buddies having a blast, at the blah blah blah, having a blast. I'm like, why can't it be like, this fucker backed into me and I'm having a shit day? You know, like that's why, if I'm having a problem, I'm gonna post it, you know, like, and I guess that's not the case. It's just like, Bam's at it again, you know. Like,
the problem is that it was very real, and what was real was that you were having a fucking meltdown. You know, like you could have used a little bit of less real.
Yeah.
Maybe a post at the beach would have done nice.
Right.
At the beach with your buddies.
When I first checked into the last rehab, I made sure I'm an A+ student. I showered, I shaved, I fucking folded my clothes, I did my laundry. But my first roommate was this dude named Patrick, this portly dude. And the first thing I do, I'm like, hey Patrick, you took a big ass shit and didn't even flush the toilet. What? It's not my fault, those Twilight people. And then he smokes a cigarette, the ashtray is right fucking there. He just puts it out in the wicker chair, melts it, throws it in the bush. I'm like, Patrick, the ass fucking tray is right there. What? It's not my fault, I'm smoking a cigarette. And I'm like, Patrick, you didn't even do the dishes, you fucking slob. What? It's not my fault, I'm cooking a hamburger. Like, nothing is his fault at all.
Wow.
And my next roommate was Kyle, and he's like, oh, so you're from Philly? I'm from New York, Delaware. Is that close to you? I'm like, yeah, it's 15 minutes. He's like, yeah, you know that 7-Eleven in New York? I'm like, I don't know, maybe. He's like, I used to know my brother from there. I'm like, great story, Kyle. And then I'm on the phone, I'm further this phone call. Like, yeah, so anyway, he's like, yo, man, you ever seen Nutty Professor? I'm like, huh? I don't know. Maybe. He's like, yeah, this one guy, I forget what character, but he said this one thing. It was hilarious. I'm like, great story, Kyle. Can you fucking have it again?
Like a sick.
Now, Bam, you said that you haven't been able to see any of the stuff that's been going on social media, and I think that that's probably a blessing. I mean, fuck what goes on social media. There's nothing we need to see there. But from your perspective of what you have seen and what your experience has been over the last year, can we safely say that you have not been a prisoner and mistreated and like stolen from like the whole, like, help us understand your situation.
No, I was just getting treatment for my alcohol and bipolar, and I just did more time than I was supposed to, just getting kicked out for dumb reasons. But now I'm out. I get freedom. I get a phone, and nobody was forcing me to be there. And there's this really crazy lady that I know who has been like posting my guardian's number on my Aunt Missy Dick Dampierre's proxy, and like has just been on a prowl, just making up so many lies. She now has a lawsuit with 5 different people that are my friends or family, and I think she's even a fucking lawyer or something. But that's why she can get the dirt of everything. She has footage of me barking in the back of the police car. She has footage of me getting handcuffed out of this nice hotel in Madero Beach when I was going to surprise Nikki Phoenix in a joint room at the top suite. I forget what the name was, but as soon as I went in to surprise knock and surprise him, the cops were already there to arrest me. And I was on a couple white claws. I wasn't out of control, but they handcuffed me and said, you're getting Baker acted for saying you're going to jump off the bridge. I'm like, oh my God.
I can relate.
What's a Baker Act?
Baker Act is just Florida's version of a same exact thing.
And sorry, so Steve, the Britney Spears thing, like that was a conservatorship, and this is different.
Very different indeed. We will get into the specifics, but let me give you the broad strokes. There are financial implications in a conservatorship, and perhaps even more substantial financial implications in being a businessman selling your own merch online with ShipStation. Like, for example, these killer shoes. They're never step on what happened. Financial implication. Britney Spears had a conservatorship, which has financial implications in which that she can control her own money and other people can spend their own money. And despite people, conspiracy theorists online trying to say that a guardianship is the same as a conservatorship, it's not. And nobody has taken control of your money, but can we confirm that?
Yeah, absolutely. My dad is my accountant, and he goes nowhere else but his
right. So that can help shut up a lot of noise that is very counterproductive and very destructive and just bullshit. Yeah. And thank you for clearing that up. And if I hear you correctly, what's happened over the last year is that you've gotten help, which you acknowledge that you need.
Yeah.
Get a check.
And the good news is, like, if my dad was to rip me off. He doesn't like sports cars or fancy cars. He's too fat to fit in the Ferrari. All he likes is cheesesteaks and hoagies and Elvis memorabilia, which he already has all of it. I don't think there's anything left that he doesn't have, so he doesn't fucking want anything. So
Right. Okay.
if he's gonna rip me off, go ahead. Like, you know, like he's the perfect person to handle my money because he's just not the type of person that he's proud of shoes.
He definitely loves him too. So let's talk about some fun shit because you and I were going back and forth on texts, and you're excited about moving out to California, and let's do some shit together. Let's create content, and I'm super excited to help out create content and fucking blow up on YouTube. I'm super excited to help you.
Yeah, I'm stoked that you got my YouTube back because this idiot Leon Hill was pocketing so much money from me. I found out.
I didn't get your YouTube back. I created a
He would not give me. Yeah, but he would not give me the password to it because I think he got $80,000 from it, and it was just a big mess. But
so what's the new link?
Forking it over.
I remember sending.
Yeah, but I have a lot of good stuff for the new YouTube channel, so thanks for hooking that up for me. But the last text that we have, I was just looking at it. It said, "Steve-O, I was trying to jerk off in the shower. I slipped and fell, and I hurt my ass. I'm flying you in with a mitten on to throw me a bone here." You're like, who needs a mitten?
What is that?
He said, put on a mitten and jack me off.
A mitten because
And I
it's
said, who needs a
not
mitten?
gay if you have a mitten. If I love on it, ain't gay. He's like, well, who needs a mitten? I'll just do it anyway.
I think there's some confusion around this YouTube channel situation. I understand that I created a YouTube channel for you, but after I did that, I saw on your Instagram that you had a channel linked in your Instagram bio, and I'm just like, what's going on? I don't understand. I'm confused. But
didn't we get the /Ben Margera?
I think we did.
I don't know.
So it's not like you got the channel, but
see, the
now
problem is
/Ben
that
Margera
everybody
goes-
handles everything on social media for me. So at the moment, can't control my Instagram. Facebook has
That's
been
fine.
long gone.
That's fine, and it's better to make good
YouTube,
content.
you know, I don't know yet because we just started it, but like everything is just out of my hands.
Which is fine. Which is fine. At this point, man, if you can worry about one thing, which is get through the day without drinking alcohol or taking drugs, and pull that off, then every day's a good day. Don't worry about anything else. And and when you get out here, I love the idea of us being active together, making dope-ass videos, working on your live show, which you've already begun to work on. And, and stay sober and be productive, be focused, and, come back. Because, like I've told you all along, you can't pretend to be in recovery. It's just, it's completely fucking obvious. Like you either are or you aren't. And I want that for you, to really be in recovery. Everyone will see it. It'll be a whole new band. And alcoholism is the only fucking disease where when you treat it and recover from it, you become a better version of yourself than you were before. With any other disease, the best you can hope for is to be as good as you were before. But this one makes you better. And I can't wait for you.
The worst part was, I had to go a year without seeing the Phoenix, and the age of four is such a fun age, and I missed it all, and I just feel like I have so much lost time to make up for, and I just want to play with him and teach him everything I know, and just make up for the fucking year that I missed. And I don't want to spend any time wasting time at any bars or anything anymore. I've done that far too long. Don't need it anymore.
Hey, can you talk about your live show? What do you have planned? What are you working on? What's it going to be like?
Yeah, well, at the moment, me and Johnny Schiller from Hard Supply are really kicking in with doing decks and clothing, and you know, tech decks are a solid target right now, and then me and Yellow Wolf, we started Gold Tooth Clothing, and we're doing a collaboration with All Mine. You know, he looked at my book and saw all my jackass ideas. He's like, these are hilarious. We're doing a t-shirt line with this, you know, so we're just doing a little collabo with that. And Danny Way and Yellow Wolf are doing this 5150 Psycho Elixir drink that they want me involved in. And, you know, when I was in rehab, I was wondering why I had a nutritionist and I wasn't losing any weight. And I found out that my one roommate, Big Ben, he's like, I'm like, have you always been this big? He's like, no, I gained 100 pounds a year. I'm like, how? He's like, Zyprexa and Depakote. I'm like, that's what the fuck I'm on. I'm like, Doc, why you give me Zyprexa and Depakote? I told you I'm depressed because I'm top heavy and I can't skate. And he's like, well, it's an antidepressant. I'm like, bitch, I'm getting more depressed, you idiot. So I got off that and I was dropping a pound a day.
So to answer
you know,
Scott's
I'm happy
question,
about that. So once I get to the weight that I want to live, then I'll start.
So the live show's coming together great, and we're talking about the idea of you coming on tour with me to try out your new material at the opening of my show.
Oh yeah.
Do we know what cities that
I
are?
wrote a lot of funny material.
We don't know anything about
I don't know if I want to blow it. I don't know if I want to blow it
save
on-
it, man. We got
on
some
air.
work to do
I
on
wanna
that.
surprise people. But
Yeah.
and also I have this really good idea. I've been working with Joe DeVito from Viva La Bam. He directed that with Nitro Circus. He worked with, but I wanted to do this thing called the Earth Rocker Awards, where I show up to. First, I want to do it with musicians, rappers, or rock stars. I don't trash your place, I cash your place. I knock on the door, I give you an Earth Rocker trophy, we film a day in the life. You know, maybe throw in some jackass type shit, stunts and funniness in there. But I film a day in the life. I find out what kind of new music you're up to and whatever. And maybe we can do it with skateboarders or artists, you know, like painting artists that I like, or whatever. But I think musicians will be the way to do it first, because I just have a lot of new bands that no one knows about who needs to know about, because I'm just sick of hearing the same old radio bullshit.
Hey, I
And
don't
there's
usually
bands
do that on the first date.
I've heard it all. I've been all over the world, and there's so many radio hits that could be hits, but they're just signed to a German label or something. That's why you don't hear them.
Did we ever get Bam's album blasted out of the last one?
Dude, your Eavesdropper album, I'll say it again, is so goddamn good.
Where is that?
Yeah,
Can people get that downloaded?
I love it. Thank you. Yeah.
Dude, I absolutely can't get enough of that album.
Yeah, I feel like, is it on YouTube or something?
I'm really proud of that album. It's called the Eavesdropper. You can hear it on YouTube, but I don't know why my brother hasn't put it on iTunes yet. I should actually call him up and figure that out. But I think he's the type of dude that wants to make a limited edition of vinyl pressings and just make it really
Do
for
that too.
diehard fans.
Put me in for
Like
one,
that.
because I want.
I worked really hard on that album. Yeah, I'm really proud of that album. And
It's fantastic.
oh, these others. Oh yeah.
Got it.
Eavesdropper.
Dude,
Yeah,
Fuck, dude.
we recorded that in Iceland, and we did it. My brother bought Prince's soundboard from the Purple Rain era, and now my cousin Bam is a recording studio, and my brother is there. He's like Clutch in there, Killswitch Engage, Danko Jones. Everybody wants to go there now because it's 8 bedrooms that are empty. They got 4-wheeler trails and 4-wheelers, skate park if they want to skate. So, I mean, it's perfect for rock bands to want to stay and be creative and just have a big 14-acre field to just, you know, relax and cool, hot tub, all that. Castle Bam Studios.
how many of those copies that you're holding are there?
I think, yeah, I'll definitely send some, but I think we just did a pressing of 10,000.
Okay, well, definitely hook me up. And can I just say, Bam, that I just wish I could just give you a hug. I wish I could somehow just transmit some kind of energy that will protect you and make you healthy and happy, because I fucking love you.
Yeah. I gotta say, man, you were always stuck by my side throughout all of this, and I gotta thank you for that. I appreciate it. You know, anytime I'll be down in the dumpster having a rough patch, you're always there to be by my side. I can't thank you enough.
Well, shit, man, I love the hell out of you, dude. I really do. And I find it particularly interesting, too, that when I was there, like, I never sugarcoated anything. I always told you, like, how it was. And I'm, like, the only person who didn't get in trouble with you for telling you what you didn't want to hear. And I appreciate that. I'm grateful for that. And like I said, I just wish I could hug you and transmit some kind of energy.
I feel like we're closer now than when we were filming Jackass, actually.
I mean, for sure. And like, we can also let the record reflect that when you had been kicked out of the movie, that I was like oddly, surprisingly, like campaigning to get you back in the movie. And we were so close, Bam. We had it to a point where you had it. We were so close. I was like writing scripts for you. Be like, tell him this, say this, and it's gonna help get you back in the movie. And we got you to a point where you had a Zoom call with Johnny Knoxville, Spike Jones, Jeff Tremaine, and that was specifically the call where they were gonna make the decision. You were all but back in, and you got loaded and missed the fucking call. You got loaded and no-showed the call, and they had to see you on social.
What happened was, I didn't have a computer, and I was rushing to Danny Way's house.
Well, right, but they had to see you all wasted on social media the night before, so they knew exactly why you missed the call. And they were like, fuck, you know, we were this close to letting him back in, but he made the decision for us. And I was fighting so hard for you.
Everything meant for a reason, and I'm much better off not being in it. I'm happy to not be in it. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be a part of it. I'm much happier without it.
Everything happens for a reason, and you're grateful for where you're at. That's the best thing I've heard you say this whole fucking time, man. And I was fighting for you to be in the movie. It didn't work. Whatever. Everything worked out in the end. You're happy.
Now that it's done and over with, I didn't want to do it in the first place. And when I did my year of treatment, I had to figure out how to be social again without alcohol. I had to learn how to not be bored again without alcohol. And I'm glad I actually did a year, because if I would have done anything less, then I might not have figured out how to cure my boredom and be social.
Looking back on like when you're in there in the year and like, you know, trying to find your part in all this, did you have a problem? Like, did you find out what your part in this whole situation was?
Part in what part?
Just in like how were you able to accept any responsibility for ending up in a rehab?
Yeah, I mean, I am an alcoholic, you know. I have been for a long time. I remember when I was probably 24, I was so mesmerized by Villa Valor from him that, you know, he would just walk down the street in Finland and girls would literally faint. Sometimes guys too. So I would just follow his lead. I'm like, he's buying a pack of cigarettes, I'll buy a pack of cigarettes. Get a beer, I'm getting a beer. He's doing a shot of Sambuca, I'm doing a shot of Sambuca. Then, like, once he cracked open a beer and when he woke up, that was the first time I'm like, you're drinking in the morning, in the daytime? He's like, yeah, why not? He's like, you want one? I'm like, well, I'm not gonna let you do it alone, but this is fucking crazy. It was the first time I ever drank, and that's when I just, you know, I thought it was crazy to be drunk in the day, or even drink a beer in the day. I just thought it was a Friday night thing.
Now, am I correct that Villa Vallo is sober for like a long time now?
Yeah, he, I think it's probably 6-7 years now, but I know that, like, occasionally He'll have a beer or two with an old pal, but nothing more than that. He won't do any kind of all-nighters or shots. It'll just be a beer or two to catch up with an old pal. What I've heard, I don't know. That's what I've heard from friends who do.
All right.
But it's very rare.
Okay. Well, dude, I gotta say, I'm super stoked that you're where you're at now. My only concern is keeping you where you're at now. You know, like sober and healthy and happy, business opportunities. Like, I feel like there's progress being made, and we've done a lot just in this conversation to indicate to me that you've made great progress and that we're heading in a good direction.
Yeah, and I've been doing 5 meetings a month, or 5 meetings a week every week.
Good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we miss seeing you in San Diego, dude.
I know, I can't wait to get there, man.
Yeah.
I really can't.
I'm excited for your YouTube channel too. Like, are you, for you, because I always tell people, when people ask me like about you or you come up in conversation, I feel a need to tell people and remind people, like, you kind of invented this shit. Like, you were playing around with your friends, filming shit, editing your videos, and distributing them for YouTube, for any of this shit. So now for you, looking at YouTube, like, I don't know, do you look at it like, I invented this shit kind of, like, how does YouTube strike you?
I knew that, you know, if you look at CKY2K or CKY1, it's something that you could always watch because, dude, skate videos just become so outdated. I remember watching Plan B Questionable video over and over and over again because it was just such uncomparable to any other video. It was the best. Danny Way was the best. It was just uncomparable. And then now it's just, they're getting better and better and better and better. And like, if you even watch Questionable now, it's just tricks that kids can do for fucking breakfast.
Right.
You know, but I mixed in funny, ridiculous stunts in between pro skate tricks, so it never gets old. You know, like, you're always gonna laugh and watch great skating. You know, which was completely brand new to the whole skating sport. And when I played it to people that weren't skateboarders and they were laughing hysterical, telling everybody, everything was through word of mouth and sold 1 million copies. You know, like, that's why, like, you know, I mean, Tremaine always says, Big Brother sold the Jackass. Well, how come I sold over 1 million copies and Big Brother only sold like 80,000 or something like that? Like, you never get the fucking...
Is that what CKY did out of the bootleg tape?
Yeah, we never had one ad, and I sold over 1 million of every single one of them. Millions and millions of copies.
Yeah, I mean, everybody had CKY and 2K.
CKY was definitely a huge deal, you know?
Yeah.
And I agree with you there, except for, I think we got to acknowledge that it was Knoxville and Tremaine who reached out to Spike and got it going, and then they reached out to you saying, hey, do you want to come on board with this thing? So
how come Spike Jones has so much say in Jackass when he came in a decade later?
Because he had the clout, the name, the power to make this fucking thing start. Nobody else would have, if Spike's name wasn't attached to Jackass in the beginning, people would have looked at it and said, you can't put this fucking shit on TV.
No, but wait a minute. But when Jackass, the first season on MTV, he wasn't part of it, was he?
Yeah, he was. Absolutely.
Oh, he was?
For sure.
And he also helped, like, shape the look of the show a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
I did not know that. I just thought 10 years later he popped.
No. They,
out,
like,
and that was that.
The only way they even got a meeting was because Spike was attached to it. And
I
I
guess he was just so MIA all the time. I just didn't know that he was even a part of it.
Spike was the one who opened the door, and I genuinely believe that without Spike, people would have looked at the footage that they were trying to sell and said, you cannot put this fucking reckless, violent, fucking crazy shit on TV.
Spike has made phenomenal movies.
Because Spike's name's attached to it, it somehow made what we do permissible for broadcast television, you know?
Yeah, I know. Well, I heard the first pitch to like HBO or something was like, we're not fucking ever playing this. You're crazy.
Right.
And then I guess MTV was like, all right, we'll give it a shot. And then like a light switch.
And Spike was in both of those meetings.
It was a massive, massive hit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So technically, they did start it.
The funniest fucking thing ever. They never made it. No, there's some things that don't make it to Jackass, and one of them was Dave England was at the Venice
The
Beach
diaper?
drawing pictures. No, he was drawing pictures. This old ass 80-year-old lady was like, "I'll take my picture drawn by you for $5." He's sitting there like this, only to reveal her naked ass, saggy tip with a minging ass pussy, and it just says snot. She's like, "You need church." They're like, "We will never, ever air." I was like, this is the best fucking skit ever. But I agree. This should never be aired on television.
Right. Yeah, dude.
Minging ass pussy, saggy tip.
I didn't know that didn't air. I thought it did, but either way, I remember it, and I remember it just about as fondly as you do.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, man. Well, fuck, dude. Like, we've had a glorious history, man, and I'd like to think that we're gonna have a glorious future. And for that to be the case, I really, really want you to take seriously what they're telling you in these fucking classes that you still have to go to. Because that's like been the most life-saving thing for me. Like, my life is good now. Because when I was in those rehabs, when I was in those classes, that outpatient shit, that I really listened to what the fuck they said to do, and I followed their suggestions, and my life is really goddamn good because of it, and I want the same for you. You know?
I got you, man. I done a year, and I get what Novak was talking about.
Good, man, and I love you, and by all means, man, let's stay in touch the way we are. Let's keep doing the fucking thing, and when you get out here, let's fucking make it better and better, and then when we're in a good spot, let's fucking go on tour, man.
Rock and roll. I'm in.
All right, brother. I love you, man. Anything else you want to say now? Man, Mike Tyson said this to me today. He said, pointed to the cameras, he said, there's millions of people watching right now. What do you want to tell them?
I want to give a shout out to the Derns for letting me stay here and hooking up VIP tickets to Disney. They had to hook up, and Phoenix is just really excited, and so am I.
All right, man. And we can tell everybody to follow your social media, but you're not going to know about it.
Yeah, bring some of those CDs over to Carlsbad. I wanna grab a couple.
Yeah.
I'll have my brother mail it to you. I'll look up the address to Tight Box.
Yeah, maybe we can ship some out of Type Box too. If we get your.
That'll be all. Yeah, let's do that.
Bring all 10,000 of them. Dude.
I love that album, man. I worked really hard on it.
Yeah, dude,
I worked really hard on it.
unbelievable.
Super stoked on it.
It's
I don't think there's one bad song.
Yeah, bring all 10,000 to Type Box and we'll get them out for you.
Yeah. We will unload them in short order. Hey, Bam, you're the best. I love you. And be healthy. Fucking listen to what they're telling you in those goddamn rehab classes.
Yeah, Mom.
All right, dude. Take care, brother.
Later, back.
Yeah.
So there you have it. We heard it from the horse's mouth. And I think, as I said in the intro, this was recorded with Bam some time ago. It was back in May. And I'm sure a lot of you know that shortly after, he had some issues where he fled from rehab. Well, he is back in rehab, and I urge everybody, please be supportive of Bam being in rehab, of taking sobriety seriously. Because anybody who's talking about free Bam, let him out, get him out of treatment, like, you're trying to kill him. And don't do that. Let's all please be supportive of Bam's sobriety. And that's it. And thank you for sticking around to the end. Lots of love.